Hi, I thought as I use this channel to create videos and using Suno, many of you out there have also done videos similar where you have a look at the interface, um, discuss how you can work around it, what you can do with it, and how it works. And I thought that's something that I quite like to do with systems. So while I've been in this environment, working with Suno, I've taken a lot of my old writing from when I was a younger person and turn those into songs in this environment. And I've been doing that not long since the platform was released back in version 2. And there have been quite a lot of changes that have come along the way. So I thought it'd be quite good to have a look at the navigation of the system, and as we're doing that, go through the creation of a song. So as you can see, what I've got in front of me is the desktop environment. We have a lot of stuff going on here. So we have global trending information that's coming through from other people on the platform who are making music, and you can see they're sharing it and people listening to it and hopefully enjoying it. Suno's also just recently introduced the covers functionality, which is something I'll drill into, and something I really enjoy because it gives me the ability to go back to a song that I made. It's the concept of being able to take something that kind of hits the way you want it to, but doesn't quite nail it, and gives you the ability to sort of regenerate that with some new influences. You also see Suno's going out of their way to try and engage people with the platform. So they've got a remix contest. You can go online and have a look at how people are feeling about that. We also have the Summer of Suno, which is where people share their songs in a specific place, and people sort of vote on it. I haven't actually done that myself. You can see in here, as you create something new and share it, it'll show up in the new view. We've got lots of categories that'll collect information. These songs, the like songs, are my own songs. And you can see some of my ones I've been playing with there where I've come back and made covers of them. And as you can see, you can scroll down and you can have a look at the various things in the system that might give you some inspiration. And that's actually a really good point. When you're looking to try and generate some music, one of the things you might want to do is click on some of these options. In these ones here, you're looking at just one influence to make the music, like this reggae one over here. I don't like to do that. I like to throw all sorts of scenarios into the prompts. And so when you come into these sort of trending ones, you'll start to see other people who've done that, and you can go. One of the hardest parts is how do you come up with the scenarios that you want to use to try and generate the music. If you know the music you like, but you actually want to try and do something different to get a different experience out of it, and that's where going and looking what other people are generating, what it sounds like. You're not going to create the same thing as them, but you are going to look at going, oh yeah, that's the kind of sound I'm looking for. So we'll see here, obviously this is home where I've been sitting for a while. We'll go to create in a moment. What I'll do is I'll jump to library because this is where all the music that you generate is kept. So you'll see here in your songs, this is just everything you've made. And you can see even when I've thumbed something down, it disappears when I'm going in the create mode, but it is still in the library. You can see whether people are following you or you're following them. I don't put a lot of stuff public, so you'll see later I'll tell you how I share my music. And then there's your playlists, and this is somewhere where I've sort of invested a little bit of time and effort. What I did is I've put the songs into the version of Sono that's been available when I've released it. So version 2 is where I started, version 3, and we're currently in version 3.5. You'll see here I've got Diana Chronicles, that's 4 songs that are all about the same thing, and if I want to, I can make that public like I have done here. I can also share that playlist, and if people, I'm not sure how this is going to go for me if I show you here, but if people go and click on it and listen, you'll see that's where you get these numbers here. So not a lot of people listening to my stuff. That doesn't really bother me. Mostly I've made this for me. But here, if anybody does want to go and find the Diana Chronicles, this is in order the music that tells the story of the relationship with Diana. Not a real person, but just some sort of related things that I've put together. Um, Other couple of interesting things, explore. So much like I said, going and looking at the other people's songs that they've created is a way you can find the prompts. In this explore area here, you can roll the dice, or you've got all of these things. You can come in and just pick up some of these influences. There are actually, if you go into places like Reddit, there are people who've gone through like 100% of these things, captured them and put them in lists. You can go into a Google search and you'll see what are the kinds of prompts I can use in the system. And that's where these kinds of things all become really useful. So that was nice when they introduced that. Search is just obviously what you want to do is when you're not looking at your own list, but you want to look at everything across the system. This is where you come and find interesting music. And, you know, having been around for a long time, classics like Capybara are just there and showing what's the most listened to stuff, but you can go in and have a look. And this is where you can find your relationship with new creators and those kinds of things. So let's go into Create. Now, I personally always work in custom mode. That's really just my thing. I'm working with my own lyrics. I want to turn those into songs. But if that's not really how you are and you still want to go in and make something, this is your option. So I'm not in custom mode. You get to be able to choose from the versions that are still available. I can't imagine a reason why you wouldn't want to work in 3.5, but there is possibilities that you might want to go back to the older versions. What I've found is mostly as they've moved through the versions of the releases, you get a richer music being made out of it. The instruments that you put in are fuller. Very much the vocals tend to be more improved. So what we've got in here is the controls. You can upload audio, so there are limits to the length of audio you can upload there. And you'll see here audio must be between 6 and 120 seconds long. So you can basically, if you've made old music, if you've got other files you want to put in here, other music things, you can upload those or you can record them into the system. Not something I've done much of, have played around with it a little bit. It is interesting, but that's for more people who perhaps want to create their own song, put it in, and this is where the cover function might come in really handy. So just keep that in mind that you can actually record your own music and bring it into this environment and then start to do some things with it. So that's uploading the audio. You can type in a song description. This is basically where you put in, you know, like I want to write a love song about frogs or whatever it is. You just come up with your own thing. Down here, need ideas. It is like a what is it? Mad Libs, where you come in here and put in some details and it will give you the ability to sort of try and generate an idea for a song. And you'll see up here we have the ability to do instrumental. So you can describe a sort of EMD music type, or you want a country background, or whatever it is. If you put in the description, it will do its best to try and generate that for you. So when you do instrumental, obviously it's aiming for, but doesn't always successfully get music only. When you don't put in instrumental, when you put in the description, if you see here, I'm going to put I'll put in my love song about frogs. It'll go to create, and while it's doing that, I've got to be honest, I don't generally do the auto-generated music, so this is going to be interesting, but we'll have a look. Oh, look, Frog Serenade. And it did it pop acoustic, so you can put in style and things like that.
So bright and clear, nighttime croaks we hear, by the pond we stay so near, love jumps high, no fear.
So I'm going to stop that there. So what you'll see here is when you hit create, it will generate two songs. Haven't seen a good justification for that, but they will be different. But you'll see here we've got the lyrics the same on both song. So it's taken that same prompt, it's taken the create, and what it's done is even put in the music style. It's done that twice and been able to push through and generate the songs. And so when you generate a song, this is where you've got your lyrics inside here. You can go in and say, hey, am I happy with that? Um, that's very specifically around, at the moment, they're looking to see, are you getting the good audio vocal quality or poor audio vocal quality? So Suno is trying, they've specifically used to have a larger list of things they were looking for. I think they got the overwhelming feedback that the vocal quality was having some issues. So they're very much focused on that at the moment. Um, this is where you can get a link for your song so you can go and share it with other people. And in here is where you get the rest of your prompts. So you'll see we've got that extend function. What that means is it's created a song in here, and you'll actually see it's still loading from the creation what the full time of the song is. So I could play it and it could get to the end. And I'll just pause here for a moment and wait till that finishes. So you'll see now we have the song that is 2 minutes 50. And when we come in here, we actually get some more options than what I had before. So we have the ability to extend the song. That's at the 2 minutes 50 point. We can basically go in and hit extend, and it'll continue the song from there. But we can also go, actually, I didn't like the way that song finished. At 2 minutes 35 is where the music cuts off, and I want to jump in and do my outro from there. So that's a way you can basically adjust the song without being able to go into the middle of the song. It's only from that point, from that timestamp that you put in there and hit extend, that you can make some difference to the song. We also have the options to reuse the prompt that we just did. So if I click that, you'll see it goes and puts those lyrics over in the left hand side here. It puts in the style of music. The other thing to pay attention to here is in the bottom of the style of music, they put some suggestions in here. They're not always relevant suggestions. They're just other things that you can add in. And if you go and select that, you'll see once I've selected one, it'll often change the selections underneath. But sometimes it doesn't. You might need to select a few of them before it'll make that change. And that's a really good way if you like a style, but you want to try and make something different. You know, one of the things we're trying to do with this music is not create the same thing every time. You can go in there and really sort of add some extra oomph to what you're creating in the system. So once we've done reuse prompt, the other thing we can do is take a cover song. So this sound of the song here.
Green with spots so bright and clear.
So if we really like that musical style, the guitar, hopefully you're hearing this and I don't have to go and re-record it later. If you're hearing that guitar, the musical style, the sound of the voice, everything like that, if you kind of want the same thing, that's where cover comes in. It will keep almost the same beat, similar vocals, and it will just make some tweaks to it, and you can hit it and regenerate it, and it'll throw some options at it, but it's basically re-getting the same thing. So rather than having the different songs, when you hit create, if you're hitting cover, you get the same song concept, but you just get it in a slightly different style, which I think was a lot of feedback that was coming to the team. People wanted to take something that they were really happy with and wanted to make tweaks to. It's not quite the same. You can go in once you're doing a cover, and you can start to do things like try and put in some different music styles. You can throw some options to put in different music breaks and vocals in there. It sometimes does or sometimes doesn't adopt those. Get stems. If you don't know what stems are, it's basically when it splits the song into, you know what, I'm going to do that for this song. So for the Frog Serenade version 1 here, what we're going to do here is you'll see it's actually splitting it in, so the instrumental and the vocals are coming as two different options. And that's often, I'd imagine, If you want to take those and put them into some other mixing tool and then be able to adjust the vocals separately from the instrumental, you can start to get some control over that. It doesn't break down into different instruments, but at the moment that was something that came reasonably recently along with covers, and it had been something that a lot of people who were working with the system had been asking for. And then if you go to radio, I believe that's just looking at the, you know what, let's click it because I haven't clicked that one using the system. So that's going to go in, yeah, and I think it looks at pop acoustics, and I'm not quite sure how it's made that radio option there. So we'll just live with that. There is a radio option, and maybe you'll get similar songs. Then you have the capacity to come into song details. So if I go in and click in that, in the edit, this is where you can come in and you can make adjustments to the lyrics. So back in version 2, often when you were creating a song, it would go for, I think it was a minute 30, something like that. It does, I think it does actually say up there. Give me a moment. 1.3 minutes. So often that wouldn't be the amount of time that you'd want to make a song, and you'd have to do the extension. And when you do that, what would happen is those song lyrics would have all of the lyrics, but you might then go extend and have these verse and chorus sitting underneath, or you may have made changes or whatever it is. This gives you the ability to come in and do a couple of things. You can change the song's name, you can change the picture, and you can change the displayed lyrics. And there may be a question, why would you change the displayed lyrics? And of course there's an answer, and we'll come to that in a moment. The other option is, and this is the newest from my perspective, is crop song. So this is where you can come in and basically grab the time codes of the music, and you can come in and basically remove parts of the song so that you can just keep that section and then go and use that in your things like a cover, or if you want to drop that into an upload or something like that. I'll leave it to you guys to come up with the scenarios that you want to work with there. So here's where we've got for our visibility. Link only means that if I click on that link option up the top here, I can share that song with my friends. I can put it online. I can do whatever I like. But it's not showing up on that Suno new area where we had on the front page. If I want to do that, we put that in public. And when you share, you've got the share to option, which is, I believe, these ones down here. So if we click that, yep, you'll see you can share to some various places directly from inside that sharing option. Right, this is one of my favorite bits. You can download an MP3 or WAV. So I think MP3 is more compressed than WAV. You can create a video, so I'm going to do that at the moment for you. And what that'll do is, I'll click on this.
Green lit spot so bright and clear, nighttime croaks we hear.
So sorry, that was, I clicked on the wrong link there. So I want to download the video. I had somehow downloaded the WAV file. Doing that, I believe. No, MP4. That's interesting. Oh, there we go. That's what I was expecting. So when it downloads the video, that's why you want to edit your lyrics down the side, because it will sing the song and highlight the lyrics as it's singing them. And if you've got those jumbled up lyrics like I have with some of my older songs, it just doesn't work that way. And it'll take, you know, that picture that you've created for the song, it'll take the name, it'll take the description, and then it'll go through the lyrics. And as you see, it'll jump through the various parts. So you've basically got the capacity to make a lyric video. What you also have in here is the ability to regenerate that video. So that's once you've done the editing of the picture, the name, and the lyrics, you can then regenerate that video. And it won't do it from the original creation. And yeah, the bugs, those are up to you as users. Due to some recording issues, I'm going to keep that as the first video now. I'll probably do another one in the near future where I'll go through creating my own song and what you can do with that and how I'm sharing it. And we'll see how we work with credits and other things like that. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you do, part of my goal is to see if people want to check out any of my music. You can go to genaiandI.nz on YouTube, and you'll be able to find my videos there. But if you're seeing this video, you're there already. So just go click on the link and have a look at something else. See if you enjoy my music. Thanks. Bye.